The Business Review brings you top financial news developments, influencing financial markets, international currencies, commodities, global commerce, tourism, and other economic events from around the globe.
The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that it was up to the European Union whether the two sides reached a trade agreement, calling on Brussels to use common sense to hand Britain a similar deal to the one it did with Canada. Talking to BBC regional journalist, Johnson said, "I hope that we get a deal. It's up to our friends. They've done a deal with Canada of a kind what we want. Why shouldn't they do it with us? We're so near. We've been members for 45 years. It's all there. It's just up to them," he concluded. He also said there was every chance to get a deal, adding that it's up to our friends and partners to be commonsensical. Questioned about the coronavirus pandemic, Mr. Johnson said that over the summer, people's discipline over social distancing rules had frayed, allowing cases to surge across England, particularly in the northeast, where a tightening of restrictions on socializing was introduced from September the 30th.
US stocks closed lower on October 2nd as news that US President Donald Trump tested positive for COVID-19 put investors in a risk-off mood and added to mounting uncertainties surrounding the looming election. Tech shares weighed heaviest on the indexes, but the blue-chip Dow's losses were mitigated by gains in economically sensitive cyclical stocks. Trump tweeted earlier that he had contracted the coronavirus and would be placed under quarantine, compounding the unknowns for an already volatile market. But stocks pared losses after the White House provided assurances that Trump, while experiencing mild symptoms, is not incapacitated. Equities also got a brief boost after U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi's announcement that an agreement to provide another $25 billion in government assistance to the airline industry was imminent. House Democrats passed a $2.2 trillion fiscal aid package, but the bill is unlikely to be approved in the Republican-controlled Senate. Partisan wrangling over the size and details of a new round of stimulus have stalled over 2 months after emergency unemployment benefits expired for millions of Americans. Data released showed the recovery of the labor market could be losing steam. The U.S. economy added 661,000 jobs in September, fewer than expected, and the slowest increase since the recovery began in May. Payrolls remain a long way from regaining the 22 million jobs lost since the initial shutdown, and the ranks of the permanently unemployed are swelling.
Business is booming at a sea dock in western Turkey where 5 hulking cruise ships are being dismantled for scrap metal sales after the pandemic all but destroyed the industry. Cruise ships were home to some of the earliest clusters of COVID-19 as the pandemic spread globally earlier this year. In March, U.S. authorities issued a no-sail order for all cruise ships that remains in place. Dozens of workers stripped walls, windows, floors and railings from several vessels in the dock in Aliağa, a town 45 kilometers north of Izmir on Turkey's west coast. According to the chairman of a ship recycling industrialists association, Camille Onal, before the pandemic, Turkey's shipbreaking yards typically handled cargo and container ships. He said that cruise ships changed course towards Aliağa in a very significant way, adding that there was growth in the sector due to the crisis. Onal said some 2,500 people worked at the yard in teams that take around 6 months to dismantle a full ship. The vessels arrived from Britain, Italy, and the United States. He noted the shipyard aims to increase the volume of reclaimed steel to 1.1 million tons by the end of the year, from 700,000 tons back in January.
China has unveiled the latest version of a master plan to further develop its high-speed rail network in the medium-long term, which has already seen its main structure finished 70%. According to the master plan released by Chinese railway authorities, the country aims to complete the building a nationwide high-speed railway network with a combined mileage totaling 38,000 kilometers by 2025. China inaugurated its first high-speed railway, the Beijing-Tianjin High-Speed Railway, in June of 2008. By the end of the year 2018, a total of 29,000 kilometers high-speed railway has been built, and the national network, comprising of 4 verticals and 4 horizontals, had taken shape, accounting for about 2/3 of the world's high-speed railways. So far, 86% of Chinese cities with a population over 500,000 have been connected to the 4+4 high-speed railway network, up from 20% back in 2012. Running at speeds from 250 to 350 kilometers per hour, the high-speed trains have greatly cut short the travel time for travelers while providing coziness, convenience and safety to them. According to the master plan, a larger 8+8 high-speed railway network will be built by 2030, comprising of 8 north-south and 8 east-west high-speed lines. Over the years, Chinese President Xi Jinping has stressed the importance of building a strong country with an advanced railway network, calling railways a strategic and critical infrastructure that forms the main artery of Chinese economy. When serving as the secretary of the Communist Party of China of the CPC Ningbo Prefectural Committee in East China's Fujian province over 3 decades ago, President Xi attached great importance to poverty reduction in Ningbo City and put forward many ideas, thoughts, concepts and methods in this regard. In 2009, a railway line passed through Ningbo for the first time after the opening of the Wenzhou-Fuzhou Railway, which links Fuzhou in Fujian Province and Wenzhou in East China's Xinjiang Province. And then on September 27th of 2020, the Kozhou-Ningbo Railway, which links Kozhou in Xinjiang and Ningbo, opened to service, bringing more development opportunities to Ningbo. On September 21st of 2017, China successfully promoted the maximum operation speed of bullet trains on the Beijing-Shanghai High-Speed Railway to 350 kilometers per hour. The route is operated by the Fuxing bullet trains, which are independently designed and manufactured in China, taking another major step forward in China's high-speed railway development. The country's first self-driving high-speed railway linking Beijing and Zhangjiakou City in North China's Hebei Province, the 2 host cities of the 2022 Winter Olympic Games, went into operation on December 30th of last year.
This brings us to the end of this episode of the Business Review. We hope to see you again tomorrow with news of stock markets, economic conferences, commodities, currencies, regional and international financial news, and much more.